And welcome back, everyone, to World Team League 2022 Winter Code S Round 1, Day 9, our second match of the evening. I'm your host, Light VIP, and with me, joining me this lovely night, I have Asher. Hello, Asher.
You just said day 9.
Lovely night. Am I crazy?
Day 9 of the tournament.
Yeah, Round 9, Day 1.
Yay. We do have this roster lined on up. Shopify putting together a very nice roster of fan favorites here. I do like the way that they've picked out their players. It kind of seems like they've just gone for some of the most popular players around.
Oh yeah, they're popular for a reason though, because they are quality, Poppy. Oh my god. As you love to see it. We see our ace players being featured here between Shopify Rebellion and PSISTORM. Of course, MaxPax and ByuN. Unfortunately, I don't believe they will be facing each other. Instead, we have a TVT between Special and ByuN, a TVZ between GuMiho and Scarlett, and we end things off with a PvP MaxPax versus Harstem.
Beautiful, and these are some very interesting matchups because PSISTORM, they do have a lot of stylistic players in their roster, and here is the first of them. This is Special.
Yeah, and we have seen these two face off before in these online weekly tournaments, especially the ESL weeklies, but it all comes down to this best of 2 in World Team League. Even though Special has been having a bit of a hard, it feels like he has a harder time against the Korean Terrans, like your GuMihos and your ByuNs, just because of how aggressive they can be. But in a league like this, where you have time to prepare and when you can come in with, specialized builds, Special, he can look pretty good here.
Yeah, absolutely. And ByuN, he is one that kind of sometimes funnels all his decisions into drop things across the map. So it can turn it into a very chaotic game if the opponent's going for an aggressive build as well. And that's the kind of game where you can punch up in TVT.
Oh, you definitely can. You can catch your opponent maybe overextending, maybe being just a little bit too aggressive. And at times that can be what ByuN does. So this matchup is still quite up in the air, even if there is a differential between the two leagues. But here we go in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, representing PSISTORM, Special.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map, going for a gas first, this is ByuN.
Oh, so already we do see our players differing quite a bit here. With that gas first, Asher, do tell.
Okay, so this is something that a lot of the Korean players like to do. Bunny does it quite a lot as well. This usually goes into reacted Hellions with a fast expand.
Yeah. I was assuming that this would be a one gas opener as well. And it's weird because I feel like we see this more commonly on some of the larger maps, not as much on Inside and Out.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like as well, ByuN going to be going for a little bit of a mind game and going for a fast wall off. This is a very interesting build.
Yeah, interesting. Because of this, he can go for the high ground CC and keep Special in the dark and keep him guessing and have him assume that it is going to be a 2 gas opener or something a little bit more aggressive. Speaking of, there we go. There is that CC in the top left-hand corner of ByuN's main. I assume, there we go. It is now thrown down. So, yeah, interesting here as Special is going to be moving out with his Reaper and didn't go for like any kind of SCV scout, I don't believe.
Yeah, very interesting. This is something that I've seen ByuN do a lot in TVP, but I've never really seen him do it in TVT, going for this wall off at the front and then a fast expand behind it. So it's quite an interesting approach to the matchup, as we do see ByuN's going to be going into a fast reactor, so probably a reactor Reaper Hellion based build, and it looks like ByuN is going to be able to get away with this, at least for the moment.
Yeah, Special hasn't gone across the map. He only checks the center and then does pull back. It looks like Special is just approaching this in a more defensive manner, at least in the early game. So because of that, he won't be able to punish the more economic opener of ByuN.
Yeah, absolutely. ByuN at this point has dodged the main build that you're scared of when you're going for this, which is a oh, interesting, Hellion first. The main build that you're scared of here, which is a proxy Reaper. So he's going to be feeling pretty comfortable at this point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Everything has kind of gone his way here at the start. Meanwhile, Special behind this is taking its own base on location. It is going to be a little bit later by comparison. And he's going to be even getting into a couple of Widow Mines as well, just to defend for the time being. Just get on top of the ramp just to meet any kind of Hellions or Reaper aggression from ByuN.
Yeah, there we go. And I have seen this before. I am fairly sure that this goes into the double four build for Special.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is very fond of it. I don't think there's a single TVT series that he doesn't do it at least once.
Oh, yeah, he's doing it. Yeah. He's gone for a fast third gas here, and he's switching onto that tech lab very quickly there. So it does look like he is going to be looking to get into some interesting tech here.
Oh, interesting. Because both players are starting off with Banshees. ByuN, of course, investing into Cloak, so going one step further. We kind of expect this from ByuN, but yeah, Special doing something similar as well.
Yeah, so it looks like both players going to be going for a Banshee. Special just going to be going for the one Cloakless Banshee, looking to maybe pick off the Cyclone of ByuN somewhere in the middle of the map and then have that Banshee pop in the back when he's not prepared for it.
Yeah, we'll see if he can catch ByuN by... Oh, we can see if both players can catch their opponents by surprise here with their Banshees. For the time being, again, Special is just kind of chilling at home, just waiting to receive and defend against anything coming his way.
Yeah, Special going for a very fast third as well. So this is quite an unusual build that he's going for, going in quite a lot of different directions all at once.
Yeah, very, very interesting here. We'll see if he can get away with it, as there we go. The first Banshee's already making its way across the map, but Special's main army as well, right through the center. ByuN, looks like his own Banshee's going to take a little bit longer because he is skirting the edge of the map instead of going right across.
Yeah, there we go. We see that third getting started up for ByuN as well. This Banshee going to be dipping in here for Special. Looks like ByuN just holding for Cloak.
Yeah, exactly. And do we have enough at home for ByuN to defend? It looks like, yes, he does have his Cyclone, does get a lock on, and does shut down that Banshee after he gets 4 SCV kills.
Yeah, not too bad in terms of damage there. Oh, this mine is going to hit the Banshee. I don't think it takes it out, but the Cyclone gets a last shot and does actually finish that off. Wow.
Wow, the Banshee for ByuN goes down immediately. Bear in mind that was the second Banshee. His first one is still across the map. There we go. He was waiting for both Banshees to rock up, but he's forced to commit with only one. Does have Cloak, though, so he will be able to reign supreme in the natural. Special, I believe, sent his Raven across the map.
Yeah, I did notice before Special's Cyclone was trapped in his factory. It does look like he has been able to get it out.
Well, yeah, a little bit of a SimCity error there by Special. Meanwhile, there we go. Cyclones, they turn around, they clean up that Banshee, but 10 SCV is not bad.
Yeah, pretty devastating damage coming out from ByuN. Special only able to get 4 with his Banshee. ByuN getting 10 SCVs, so plenty of damage coming out there. Just catching Special a little bit out of position with those Cyclones.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little bit hard to say like who traded better. I guess probably ByuN. Bearing in mind he did lose 2 Banshees as opposed to the one of Special. Did invest into that Cloak as well. Special isn't going to take this line down. He's already working through these rocks. This does get spotted by ByuN.
Yeah, there we go. We just see that scan going down. He's going to be spotting out that double starport of Special.
Exactly, has been spotted. Meanwhile, the Marines are going to be able to clean up the wood mine here on the left-hand side. At the same time, Special is going to be threatening this third base location. He's able to already siege up here. Has a couple of Vikings and Ravens to help solidify this.
Yeah, there we go. He's going to be looking to get a lot of Liberators out to try to push back this siege of ByuN. Meanwhile, ByuN, he is just sending these Marines straight across the map. I love this decision. Realizes that the tanks are the main things that matters back at home. The Marines aren't really going to help out that much, and he just puts Special in such an awkward position now.
Yeah, but you know what? Special, he catches this with his Overlord, with his Spotter Axe. He turns around and he's going to clean up all these Marines.
Yeah, a lot of Marines going down there for ByuN, and a lot of things have gone wrong for ByuN in this game. Enough, I wonder, for Special to maybe take this one down.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. The Liberator does show up, but it looks like ByuN ends up shooting first here. The auto turrets are helping Special out, but ByuN reigns supreme in the air.
Yeah, dominating fight there in the air. Looks like they had pretty similar Viking count, but ByuN just with a lot more health on his Vikings, and he manages to focus down those units extremely fast, even getting the disable on the lib, so his tanks are on full health.
Oh, that they are. And also ByuN's able to rotate over, keep up with the rotation of ByuN, keeping his Viking count quite healthy as well. At least Special was able to keep his Raven alive, but he doesn't quite have enough energy here yet to do much of anything, but he does take out a tank.
Yeah, there you go. Siege is on top of that tank. Very good understanding of the ranges there, but does look like ByuN is starting to win in the air, which, considering Special committed to going for a double starport, is a bit dicey for him. It looks like ByuN actually did go for his own double starport as well in response.
Yeah, exactly. Was able to keep up in that Viking production. And Special as well, just slipping up a little bit, losing his Raven in that previous skirmish. He's going to try and vie for that map control once again. It does have his tanks within range of that third TC.
Yeah, there we go. That Cyclone going to be putting on a little bit of damage to the Vikings of ByuN, but despite the damage, it looks like Special going to be running out of scans. Doesn't really have the ability to progress his push forward.
Yeah, in the end, Special, he's forced to back on up here. He doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't want to lose his tank count. He has been able to preserve the majority of them throughout this game, as he's going to be able to reinforce a little bit and then try and go for another push. Meanwhile, ByuN skirted around the map here with his Marines. Didn't even go for a drop, by the way.
Yeah, great movement with the Marines here. He's going to be able to take out a few of these SCVs. Might even be able to take out this tank. Looks like instead just going to settle for the SCV damage, deny as much mining as he can. Special going to get the cleanup here, but he has to bring everything home to do so.
Yeah, literally everything comes back home and 8 SCVs go down. We talk about it all the time, and Marines are expendable in this matchup for the most part. And ByuN has been able to make some great work with them now. And even though he was up against the wall earlier, we were talking about how like so many little things were going wrong for ByuN. He has been able to fight back here. He has been able to catch back up.
Yeah, at the same time, Special's been able to use all his map control that he's had to get a fourth on location, so does find himself with a little bit of a lead in that way. It's going to be on ByuN to try to use his drop play to get himself back into this one.
Yeah, and Special bait. He throws down 2 more starports, by the way. He's going for 4 starport production. Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go. Just going into that standard starport transition there. We'll be looking to take to the skies and use those extra gases, so there's a very good way to leverage the early 4th base.
Yeah, it really is. As the 4th does get thrown down, it looks like the planetary has been built as well. So we do have a bit of a Marine run by, but there is plenty at home to defend. Oh, but Special also slips up a little bit, loses 2 Cyclones and loses 1 tank back at home.
Yeah, I love this as well from ByuN. This is such a fascinating adjustment that he's making. He's actually mixing in Marauders here. So he realizes that Special going into a little bit of a higher tank count. So he's going to be able to deal with those tanks using Marauders. This is a cool approach that he's using here.
Yeah, definitely. And because of that, he's able to pick off a couple of stray units here and there, stray tanks at that. Meanwhile, with that 4 starport production, look at how many Viking Special has. My god, there is no way for ByuN to really engage here. Or with that
we
army.
are seeing a total air Terran army coming out from Special. Is going into those Vikings and Ravens very heavily here, and we'll just be making a few tanks here and there to help him defend back at home.
Yeah, exactly. A Viking tank Raven essentially coming out from Special. We have a couple of Liberators on the way as well to really just dominate the skies and dominate the ground at the same time. ByuN, for the time being, does have the tank lead, and he's going to be able to flex out a little bit, but in a couple of seconds, the Libs are coming out, and we even have BCs in production.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say it. Maybe I wasn't following this game closely enough because I completely missed that he didn't really make extra axes or factories whatsoever. It looks like he's just been operating off the 1 factory here. So a wild approach for Special, a very greedy approach. And considering all the aggression that he got done in the middle of the map, he's bought himself enough space to go into this transition.
Yeah, you've heard about mech, you've heard about BioTank, mate. Let me tell you, Viking tank, Sky Terran commitment. Let's go. And yeah, because of that, I don't know if there's any real way for ByuN to deal with these Liberators. Like, he just doesn't have a force strong enough on the ground. He's forced to give up this position. He has to back off.
Yeah, there we go. And we do see that BC production started up in Special, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with this. He might just make a couple of them just to help harass the bases of ByuN, or he might start to pull them up and see if he can get up to a nice high BC count, which can be extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, we'll see if he can do so. Meanwhile, Special's army is quite immobile, and there aren't very many tanks, so I do like that ByuN is at least opening up a couple of different avenues of attack. He's getting ready for maybe a little bit of multi-prong with his Marines, but he has to be very careful here with his Raven county. With his Viking county. He doesn't want to get caught out as, oh yeah, he is going to lose quite a bit.
Yeah, there we go. A lot of turrets going down. Are going to be taking out quite a few of these tanks in conjunction with the Liberators and a lot of the Vikings out of the air. So it looks like ByuN throwing down 3 more Raxes is going to be fully committing to this ground play and just trying to overrun the forces of Special. And on the side of Special, I'm not sure if he has enough tanks to cover everywhere right now.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that as well. I'm worried that he doesn't have that second factory just to switch in and mix things up and produce more of those tanks. The special is about to max out. He's going to be looking to harass with a couple of these liberators, but here we go. A Doom Drop looking to get into the main base of special.
Yeah, well-placed depot there, but ByuN does not care. These are these YOLO moves that he's known for. The BC is going to be revealed. No Yamato there to take out these medevacs, and this is a one-way trip for this bio.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? They're going to be dealing a lot of damage. At the same time, we have a little bit of Liberator harass across the map. The armories are being focused on. Both of them do get targeted, and the Vikings will land. Actually, yeah, there we go. The armory does fall in the end.
Yeah, the Vikings being forced to land, not ideal for special. He does want to make sure that he keeps that Viking count up, but very good damage coming out of ByuN. That is more than worth it there as he does start to skirt around this map with his army.
Yeah, exactly. He's rotating on over here, looking for another way in, looking for a weak point in the defense of special. His Vikings are having a hard time keeping up, but he does have his sensor towers in position. He is going to be able to meet up here with ByuN.
Yeah, there we go. ByuN just going to send it using the tankiness of those Marauders just to tank the tank shots. It does look like there's a few BCs in here as well, though. No Yamato yet to take out the tanks, but if they can take out everything that shoots up, he will have domination of the skies with these BCs and even blocks the escape of the tanks with the landed Vikings.
And there we go. Special, he just dominates that fight. At the same time, he will lose all of his workers here at his triangular third base location. So ByuN does deal some economic damage. But is it quite enough? I don't think so, especially because all the BCs survived, and that BC count is just going to get higher and higher.
And made the soup. Look at the supply here. Special, despite losing all of those SCVs on an equal SCV count, and he's dominating the supply. And when it comes to these bio styles against mech, or in this case, Sky Terran, you kind of want to be ahead on supply and trading a little bit less efficiently, but overrunning the player.
Yeah, and that's just not happening here for ByuN. He's up in bases, but he is down in army. His Marines are doing what they can, and to be fair, they're trading quite well here against the BCs overall, but they are just so tanky.
Yeah, these BCs going to shred through these Marines. There really are not enough here for ByuN. Doesn't have that 3-3 either. To be fair, there's no armor on the BCs of special, but it looks like there's just too much on the ground here.
Yeah, exactly. The boys are being pulled. A little bit of a desperation move there. You can see ByuN just a little bit exasperated on the camera at what is transpiring right now. GG gets called, and special takes game number 1.
GG and special.
Oh my god.
Looking through us.
He was just looking through our souls for a moment there. Oh my god.
Wasn't really ready for that.
It was weird because it wasn't that there was no response. He looked dead at the camera. Just stared us down. Jesus. GG.
Yeah, I'm a little startled. But there we go. We do see a little bit of an upset. Special definitely on the level where he can be taking games off ByuN here and there, but I would definitely say ByuN is the favorite, and Special coming in with this Air Terran build and catching ByuN off guard a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he caught us a little bit off guard as well. It's something they don't see too often, but we were talking about it, right? Like, Special has all these strange and unorthodox builds that he can whip out from time to time, and I haven't quite seen that before. You know, 1 factory, 4 starport. It was insane, and by the time ByuN had caught wind of what was happening, you know, it was a little bit too late for him to go for all these drops and to go for all this counterattacking to try and take advantage of the low tank and low bio count of Special. He wasn't able to take advantage of that window.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. We do see as well the map being picked out by ByuN. It's going to be Data C, and that's very interesting to me. Data C, when I think of this in TVT, I think of a map that's very easy to defend, a map where even if you don't go for mech, we often see these mech-like styles where you have tanks and turrets just locking down the ramps around your 3rd and 4th, and that kind of looks like how Special wanted to play already.
Yeah, I was about to echo that same sentiment where it favors a style that Special played on Inside and Out. You know, that same style can work even better on Data C. So I really wonder what ByuN's thought process is. You know, maybe we start the game and he immediately sends some SCVs across the map. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he just 2X's him,
I'm getting a feeling that that's what we're going to be seeing here, because I don't know if we want to be facing... Like, Special doesn't even have to do that same build. He can just go 2-port into mech or something like that, you know? And I still feel like that's kind of Special's comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And Special, he's quite good with micro as well, but ByuN, he is the Reaper man. And I definitely wouldn't be too surprised to see him whipping out that 2-Rax Reaper here, but at the same time, I believe... Oh, no, wait, they're both in Korea, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say maybe the ping advantage, but here we go in the top right-hand corner for PSISTORM Gaming. This is special.
In the bottom left-hand corner, representing Shopify Rebellion, we have ByuN.
Yeah, there's no ping advantage either way, but it does look like the Raxes are going to be at home.
Yeah, Rax is going to be at home. No SCVs are out on the map, not yet. So, yeah, ByuN not going to be going for any kind of cheese here. Looking to meet special, at least in the early to mid-game, a little bit more straight up.
Yeah, there we go. So, going for a bit of a gas first here is special. We're seeing... actually, they've swapped their build, fascinatingly. So, special going for the single gas first, and ByuN going for the double gas this time. So, they are just going to be, trading places for this one.
Interesting. So, of course, this means that special is looking to go for a Rex or for a faster CC, for a faster expansion. ByuN is going to be going for more units earlier on. And we'll see if maybe ByuN is going to be a little bit more aggressive with said units. If you remember, like, special didn't really too much with his first couple of Reapers and Hellions. He was just playing a lot more defensively as once again, do we have the Wheel of Death?
Oh, we're good.
Okay, we're back.
Have you seen that Futurama episode with the Mad Hatter's party?
Maybe.
Where they're all sitting at the table, and then he goes, change places.
Yeah. Why were you thinking of that? Why?
Because they swap builds.
True. Okay. I thought you were talking about the wheel, but yes.
Oh, there we go. We are seeing a little bit of a divergence here. Special actually going to be taking that CC on the low ground. So pretty lucky for him that ByuN wasn't going for a 2-Rax, because 2-Rax does hard counter what he's doing here.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit lucky there from Special, as he's just going to be checking those proxy locations just in case, just to make sure that nothing crazy is indeed going to be going on. Oh, and ByuN likewise is going to be chilling at home for his first handful of Reapers and Hellions before he moves out.
Yeah, going for a nice early Reaper Hellion pair there. He's going to be getting that start port on the way as well. So if he can work out what it is that Special's doing, a tank drop does pair up very nicely against this build.
Yeah, we'll see if he can piece it all together here, and it can all culminate for ByuN to maybe try and punish the more economic opener of Special. We shall see, as we do have a Widowmine on the way as well. I mean, as you were saying before, they did switch places. They did change shares.
Change places.
Shaking my head. You haven't seen Jurassic Park, but you have seen Futurama.
Of course.
Yeah, that's okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, there we go. And we are going to be completing the full change of places as we do see Click Banshee coming on out from a Special.
Oh my God.
And we do see him as well going for a very fast third gas. So once again, not wanting to play things standard at all. He's going to be looking to go for either that 2-port build again or possibly even mech.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we were kind of thinking of mech earlier as well, just because of the map, just because of data C. It does kind of lean towards favoring that kind of style. Meanwhile, ooh, there it is. Magfield accelerators on the way. ByuN, though, this time does diverge from the plan. He himself did not go for a Banshee first, straight for a medevac drop.
Yeah, we see him loading up this Marine drop here. Just going to be going into that standard Cyclone Raven behind this. So we'll be looking to get a little bit of economic damage here if he can finish this drop without any Cyclone spotting him. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, ByuN just edging right now all over Special. He unloads, and there we go. He does go straight into that mineral line and catches Special unawares.
Yeah, there we go. 5 SCV is going to be going down. Loses all of that mining time in the main there. Does take out the lock-on for this Cyclone, so we'll be able to safely get the medevac out of the way here as well.
Oh, there we go. Hot pickup, only loses 2 units in the end, 5 SCVs going down, and this also forces the Banshee to turn around for Special, and I believe it was also revealed to ByuN, so now he's aware in the back of his mind he has to prepare for that Banshee backstab.
Yeah, it does in fact tell this Banshee to turn around, bright eyes, and we do see it is starting to head across the map now, and we do have a random mine headed out on the map as well for Special. So ByuN getting a little bit lucky there, just skirting that, not flying his medevac into it.
telling you, this man, he's insane that he can just edge. As we do see him focus on one of more of those workers here. Oh, another hot pickup there, just canceling that lock on.
Yeah, we see that Raven turret going down in the main as well. ByuN just non-stop with this aggression, with the harass here.
Oh, yeah, 5 more SCVs going down. But you know what? Now it's Special's turn to be the aggressor. We do have a Banshee slipping into both the natural and main base of ByuN.
Yeah, but ByuN with a very good unit split is going to be able to deflect on both sides. Special keeping his Banshees as well. So there is craziness going down every single part of the map right now. ByuN's medevac is going to be taken out quite easily. Does reveal the mag field of the Cyclones though.
Yeah, that does get revealed at the same time. Raven into the main base as well. Looks like 2 SCVs have gone down for ByuN. It looks like Special was able to preserve the majority of his, but definitely at the end of the day, ByuN did come out ahead. Look at that worker disparity.
As we do have the hairdryer, the what do you call it? The hair straightener. You know those flat iron sort of things?
Yeah,
that you like straighten your hair with? Yeah. That's what flew into your face right there, just in case you're wondering. And we do see a Special going to be continuing to make the Banshees and going for hyperflight rotors.
Oh my god. He's crazy. He's going for Banshee Cyclone? I've seen this in TVZ before. I think actually Special did do it a couple of times, maybe last year. It's been a long time. But
well, Mara did it on Ragnarok in the last game of the GSL finals, and it's kind of because he was styling on him. I don't want to go as far as to say it's not good, but it's not popular. Banshee speed takes a really long time to research. It's really expensive and it's really hard to make use of, but Special, he's not one to do things by the book, and this is something that he practices a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean, along what you were saying, again, I've only ever really seen this in TVZ, but here we have it on the Terrans instead. We just see a couple of workers getting picked off. I believe Special did just show his hand to the massive Banshees. Meanwhile, the Cyclones are headed over towards that natural.
I really love this team cohesion as well, because this is something that GuMiho loves to do. The speed Banshees and the Cyclones. This feels like this could totally be a GuMiho game as well. And ooh, is that his mine? Okay, it is his mine. I was very worried that he was going to bunch the Banshees over that mine.
It's all good. It's all good. Special, he has the map control right now. Again, he did kind of show his hand. So ByuN, here we go. He's throwing down a couple of turrets in his mineral lines. He's getting prepared for these Banshees. We even have a couple of Widow Mines. Oh, even coming back to the safety of the Marines.
Yeah, insane micro coming out from those speed Banshees. We are going to be seeing ByuN committing to Ravens and Vikings to help deal with these, but one of those tanks getting picked off here, and ByuN looking a little bit scarce on the ground.
Oh, he really is, and that's really where maybe the Cyclones can come in for a bit of a surprise. It looks like Cyclone production has ended, though, for Special. He is going into tanks from here, which does make plenty of sense. I'm trying to do what he can with these Banshees, but ooh, it looks like he gets another tank.
Oh, they're so fast. It doesn't look right. And the DPS is insane there. He is going to be dropping that cloak and jumping out of the way of those Vikings. You'll be able to snipe down this SCV. Might even be able to snipe the base, but one of these Banshees is going to be going down. It looks like Special trying to bait the Vikings into the Cyclones here.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Ravens actually go across the map and said that we got forces to cancel on the 4th CC. ByuN just stuck at home, but not for much longer, as his Ravens are going to looking to harass across the map. I say that as Special does have a Rax in position to try and catch wind of it, and this is just a wild game.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. He's almost using these speed Banshees like stalkers, trying to kite this push across the map, and ByuN trying to weave this way, and that bypass the mine as well, and see if he can get his units into position. If he can get his tanks sieged in an awkward spot here, it's going to be pretty hard for Special to deal with.
It really will be. We'll see if he can do so as he threads the needle. He gets across the map. It looks like his Cyclone has at least been spotted by Special. At the same time, Ravens do get into the main base. Banshees are keeping up with them, but again, Banshees do not shoot up, and is forced to pull out of the mineral line.
Yeah, very well positioned tanks by Special there. He's going to be getting a lot of shots off on this bio of ByuN, and ByuN feeling with the damage that he's taken, he can't really get that push happening anymore. He's just going to reconvene in the middle of the map.
Yeah, but despite that, mate, these Ravens are really the MVPs in these past couple of moments here. Oh my god, Special still not responding, loses 10 workers.
Yeah, crazy. Teamwork is going down, and looks like these are going to be staying in the main. Getting a lot of scouting here. We are going to see these tanks being dived on, and Special, he's not siege right now. He's going to be losing a lot of these tanks, but the Banshees are doing work on the back line.
The Banshees are doing work. The Vikings, we need a scan here from ByuN, as it looks like his Marauders are being cleaned up. And yes, Special is going to be able to force this back, but not without losing more workers. Oh my god.
Oh, these are Ravens, absolute killers here at the back of the map, and we're going to be seeing 20 of those SCVs going down. Special dropping quite far below in the SCV count, and ByuN with his upgrades here as well.
Yeah, exactly. 2-2 is on the horizon. I believe ByuN's tank count was reset, but he's still got some ByuN, he's still got a decent Viking count, and with all those Vikings, there we go, ByuN is even transitioning and pumping out a couple of Liberators. That's kind of the big downside of going for so many Banshees, is that you do kind of give up air control in a way, despite having so many air units. But Special's not going to take this line down. He goes for a Hellion run by.
Yeah, huge Hellion run by, catches his PF unfinished. We are going to be seeing 8 SCVs going down. Might have been able to commit there, but he does get some of those Hellions, out of there.
Yeah, a couple of those Hellions do get on at me. How have these Ravens not been dealt with? It's crazy. It's actually crazy how little anti-air specialists had this game. As 9 more SCVs go down, the Ravens survive. They go back home. Oh my god.
Yeah, and ByuN starting to find himself in a pretty dominating position here. He's going to be ducking on back, cleaning up that Banshee. We see a huge Doom drop going into the main. He realizes those Ravens have cleared the path, and there's barely anything here to deal with it for Special.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. We only have a couple of Hellions, a couple of Cyclones as well, and that's not going to be enough to deal with a mass amount of Marauders from ByuN.
GG, ByuN. Looking a bit pissed off with that game. He's like, you trying to do speed Banshees at me? You trying to style on me? Do you know who I am?
So ByuN's like, mate, you trying to clown me right now? What's going on, buddy? What's there's a reason why no one
champion.
Yeah, there's a reason why no one does this, like committing the Star Pro production so heavily to mass Banshees. And earlier all the Cyclones were cleaned up as well, and unfortunately Special was stuck in tank production, and we saw I almost want to like check the replay. We don't have the replays available, but how many worker kills did both of those Ravens get? Like, they just had free reign.
Maybe 20, maybe up towards 30. Those Ravens did work. They forced Special into a really awkward position, and Special, he really needed the map control, the presence, and the momentum there to make that work.
Yeah, he really did. Unfortunately, Special didn't have that, and GG gets called, of course. ByuN does tie up the series 1-1. Oh, but Special looking quite special in the first, in both games, to be fair. But in game 1, looking quite dominant, sneaking out that build. But now what does GuMiho do? I'm sure he's watching right now. He's like, mate, you did my builds. What the hell, man?
Hey, talking about special builds, we have a man that does... I build every game that I've never seen in my life. Yep. I start to talk through what might be happening, and he just goes the other way. I see Blue Flame, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to be going into mech, and he throws down 5 Raxes. And then I go, oh, okay, he's doing a full bio transition, and then a BC comes out, and I'm just like, I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, that's something that's literally happened in a game that we casted.
Yep. ESL Open Cup Asia, that has happened. It's crazy. Oh my god, GuMiho is a very difficult player to read, but he has insane mechanics, so he can pull off kind of these weird haphazard compositions that feel like they shouldn't make sense, but because of GuMiho's macro, because of his control as well, he makes it work anyway. Yeah, very fitting for both him and Special to be on the same team.
Yeah, it's something we talk about a lot with unusual players, where they end up in these situations with these unit sets that they play with all the time, but their opponent never plays with. Like, I've seen GuMiho open with 4 Cyclones in TVT and just put them in random spots in the map where he thinks drops are going to come out, and it's like, this is something that he's thought through, but as your opponent, you are not going to be able to predict all the different things that he can do, and that's what makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, quite dangerous indeed, and... as a result, Scarlett is going to have to be on her toes here for this matchup. Meanwhile, want to give a special shout out to Lambo. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you enjoyed your ladder session. Unfortunately, we're not going to be featuring Lambo here, but his team is going to be playing against PSISTORM.
Yeah, of course, we have the brain there of Zerg, the king himself, and he is just going to be watching on for this one, but I do believe that Shopify Rebellion here, they're in good hands. Scarlett has been in very good form lately, and she's been playing a lot. This is something where this happens a lot with the top NA players, where you're always wondering, have they been practicing? Have they been playing? Scarlett's been streaming a lot. She's been competing in these top tournaments, so we know that she's in good form coming into this one.
Definitely, and I also love kind of like the team support system as well. You know, talking a little bit about Lambo as he does give us a raid. I do know that they are quite close. They are good friends, and I'm sure that they do help each other out, especially in preparation for these WTL matches. You know, they do know the lineups well ahead of time, and they have a couple of days to prepare on these maps. And you were talking about it. You know, Lambo. You know, he is kind of the brain of Shopify Rebellion. He is kind of one of the smarter Zerg players in the European region. So who better to have kind of in your corner if you are a Zerg player like Scarlett?
Yeah, a lot of camaraderie coming out from the team there at Shopify Rebellion. I have to give a little funara as well to TLO, beating Scarlett on the ladder and then tweeting about it.
Did he really?
Yes.
Mate, oh my god.
Oh, funara in the chat.
Exclamation mark funara TLO. I have to wonder as well, is TLO the captain of Shopify Rebellions?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think he actually played one week. I remember that.
He did play a week. A week. Yeah, I have to wonder. I know there's some people asking, you know, hey, where's Lambo? Well, I mean, again, of course, the teams, they do pick their players. It's possible, you know, either someone was unavailable, they wanted to give someone else a bit of a limelight instead, maybe have someone rest for a week. I know that's another thing. I know it can be difficult fielding the same players week after week after week, so you want to give them some time to rest.
For sure. But yeah, this is a very interesting matchup that we are going to be having here. And Scarlett is a player as well that's kind of pure mechanics, where if you ever let her get towards that mid game, get towards that late game, you're going to see the entire map covered in creep. You're going to be seeing Lings, Banes running around everywhere. And I could see a world where GuMiho gets overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah, there definitely can be a world where that happens, especially if he maybe even underestimates Scarlett a little bit. Maybe if he's a little bit too crazy with his build, with his game plan. As we do see both players are now ready. The lobby is being set up, and we get a bit of a gander at their hexagons.
Yeah, here we go. I'm always kind of interested to see how they match up, as we do have Tropical Sacrifice here as our first map. So normally, I would say this favors the Zerg a little bit, but GuMiho, when you give him room to do his magic with the mech units, he can make some crazy stuff happen.
He really can, and I wonder what the plan is. You were talking about a Tropical Sacrifice is not a bad map here for mech. I know Scarlett, like many Zerg players, have their opinions on mech as well. Not necessarily something that she enjoys. But yeah, the hexagons are quite interesting, despite both players being, I guess, ranked and categorized as B. Apparently they're giving GuMiho a little bit of an edge here when it comes to some of these stats.
Yeah, there we go. There are a few there that I have to say, for example, the mindset. I could see that a little bit, just pipping her out on the mindset a little.
Yeah. yeah. I think we can all agree on that. Scarlett has kind of expressed her opinions on certain things of the game, and certain frustrations as well, definitely. But yeah, you know, we see apparently both players even in micro and offense. I guess that makes sense. Giving GuMiho some extra points in strategy, I'm behind that.
Yeah, I'm behind that too, as here he is spawning in the bottom left-hand corner for PSISTORM. This is GuMiho.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have representing Shopify Rebellion, Scarlett.
Here we go. No CC first coming out from GuMiho. That's the first thing I was looking out for. This is actually a pretty good map for the CC first.
Yeah, it is quite big. Quit is quite long, but GuMiho doesn't go for it here again. That's how crazy he can be. Even at the start of the game, he can just kind of throw you off and do something out of left field.
Like a normal build. It's crazy.
It's crazy, Papi. Oh, this is what I was waiting for. Once again, Scarlett is clouded in darkness, is ready to smudge if need be.
Yeah, there we go. We do have What gives the Zerg strength? The Zerg thrives in the dark. I'm sorry, Light. It's just the way it is.
I understand. It's why I struggle so much, puppy. It's oh my god. So yes, engulfed in the darkness, in her element here for the Zerg race is gonna be enough to overcome the Gumi God.
Yeah, and here we go. The Gumi weirdness is beginning already. We're skipping the scout, and we're going to be skipping the first unit to get a
Yeah.
faster factory as well.
Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. No Reaper or Marine. Oh my. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we do have the Marine coming up, but just delayed. Crazy.
Yeah, I think we saw this before
Yeah.
against, I think it was Solar. And Solar went into very fast mutas, and I thought Gumi was completely dead
Yeah.
because of the way that he opened. And
Yeah.
he just kind of scattered mines around everywhere on the map and managed to get himself back into the game. So,
Yeah.
GuMiho, he's a master of these weird builds and weird situations. He can make magic happen with very weird sets of units. And yeah, we're seeing a tech lab on the racks. I have
Is he going for the blue flame? Is he going for the blue flame opener?
I think it's a cyclone. No, it's just gonna be a mega fast banshee.
Okay, I was like, are we gonna see an add-on something? Nah, mate, we're seeing that starport on the tech lab. I think we've seen this before as well.
Yeah, this is what happened in that game. He just went for like the fastest possible single banshee and had basically no units.
I think that was in WTL a couple of weeks ago that we did cast. So yeah, interesting here from GuMiho whipping it out again. But again, like it's one of those things where we talk about how we've seen him do this before, but we've seen him do a lot of stuff before. Like coming into a series, if you're up against him, it's hard to really kind of read as to what it is he's going to open up with.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little disclaimer here. This is an NFSL build, not NSFL. I was right the first time. Not safe for ladder.
Not safe for ladder. Yeah, if you're in the chat and if you're looking at what GuMiho is doing, it is not safe. Do not do it.
You will go to jail. You will not pass go.
It's illegal, Papi. It's illegal. Oh god, as GuMiho is just gonna be poking and prodding with a single Hellion. just keeping Scarlett in check with one Hellion. And as a result, I mean, Scarlett has been free to drone up. You know, she's spreading her creep. Everything's looking quite normal from her end. There we go. A wave of links are on the way. But alas, she hasn't been able to get eyes on the opener on what is going to be coming her way, which is that Banshee.
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of the benefits it's afforded to you as well when you are a player with a wild reputation, when you do have a lot of weird builds in your wheelhouse, is you can kind of feign aggression and force the other player to go for a very safe, passive play and have nothing behind it. And yeah, Scarlett's going to get the first vision on that. This Link Scout coming in at 430 sees 4 units.
Sees 4 units, I believe. She saw Cloak researching. There we go. Cloak is revealed, and Scarlett doesn't have spores ready for this. Not at all. And as a result, this Banshee is going to get damage done.
Yeah, there we go. Dipping into the natural here as well. Going to be taking out 5 SCVs. Almost getting a 6 there, but that Banshee just going to keep itself alive.
Oh, yeah, it does back off in the end. Doesn't want to run out of energy and be caught here by these queens. The spores will finish up. And for one Banshee to get 5 drones, not bad at all, especially because the Banshee does survive.
Yeah, there we go. Behind this, we see Scarlett going to be going into that lair. Just going to be droning on up as well. So a lot of the time as the Zerg here, when you do face something weird, you can kind of drone through the pain. If there's something coming up and you know that you're not going to die to a timing very soon, sometimes you don't even really need to know what it is if you can get yourself to a high enough drone count. You can just brute force it.
Yeah, sometimes overreacting or responding can be a bit of a trap. I think maybe even Solar fell for that trap previously. You don't want to commit too hard to something too crazy. We're just droning. We're just making more queens. We're getting a 4th base. Scarlett just with a solid response.
Yeah, 100%. Nicely timed 4th base is going to be trying to head up in the drones here. And meanwhile, on the side of GuMiho, we do see he's going to be transitioning into Bio, but taking out all of these creep tumors as well. Just such a weird start of the game. He has such a mishmash of units here. And I don't think there's even medevacs coming to support this right now.
I don't. There we go. 2 medevacs just now start for GuMiho. They're going to be on the way, but this is what we were talking about, right? It's kind of the kitchen sink of GuMiho. What does he have in the sink today? It happens to be 2 Hellions, a Banshee Marines, and 1 tank. It looks like the medevacs do meet up here with the army. A lot of creep is being cleaned up, but he has to be careful not to overextend. A lot of Link Bane is getting ready for this, but Baneling speed is still a ways off from finishing.
Yeah, there we go. Going to be having a few of those Banelings finishing up there. We do have Scarlett moving forward these spores as well to help deal with the Banshees. And I was wondering why there weren't very many Lings here. She's actually going for a counter attack with the Lings, but isn't going to find a third.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, oh, she can maybe get some damage done, but no, there is no third base. GuMiho is still only on 2. So the Lings aren't really going to find too much damage. They can catch some reinforcements, but again, GuMiho doesn't really have many.
Yeah, there we go. The Link's going to be cutting off the reinforcements there, so Scarlett can just buy time for herself there. As long as the hatcheries are not under threat, she can just make sure that her army is growing and that of GuMiho's isn't.
Yeah, exactly. GuMiho again, he's...
Tank spot.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Tanks do siege up there in between the mineral line of that base. A lot of the creep is being cleaned up as well. No major damage, but GuMiho methodically is cleaning this up, and oh my god, the drops are coming to reinforce.
That tank spot's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
It's disgusting, man. Oh
I'm going to be doing that a lot.
Oh my god, as the reinforcements get here, but ooh, a little bit too late as the army of Scarlett's getting on top of the tanks. Ooh.
Yeah, that was not a good trade whatsoever there for Scarlett, and as a result, she's going to have to give up this 4th base. I think the Queen's going to trade out as much of their energy as they can to put some damage on the Marines, but this critical mass of Marines is just a little bit too much. Scarlett's going to have to back on out of there while she waits for those Banelings to finish. Yeah, I don't blame Scarlett for diving on that location when she did before the reinforcements really solidified the position for GuMiho, but I can't believe that 0 tanks died, or that neither of those tanks died. They were just able to weather the storm. GuMiho cleans up that base, and Scarlett is in a bit of trouble right now. Yeah, that positioning with the tanks was absolutely insane. But meanwhile, for GuMiho, we do see he's very committed with this push. So for Scarlett to lose her 4th, definitely not the end of the world, but she needs to get a good Lingbane force going on here. He's going to be taking out a few of these depots, but this is not going to be the best trades unless she can get on top of the SCVs. Ooh, and she kind of does. 7 SCVs are going to be going down. Lynx try to get on top of the tank, but the Marine reinforcements are going to be able to clean this up. GuMiho holds on his 2 bases as he continues his push. Liberator slowly pushing on forward. Bailing speed is now done for Scarlett. She's trying to take another 4th base towards the south. Right now, she just needs to hold on. But the tank count, once again, sieging up. Yeah, there we go. The 2 base all-in of GuMiho is continuing, and Scarlett looking pretty light on the army supply here. I am getting a little bit worried for her as these Liberators and tanks slowly start to creep on forward into her natural. Yeah, losing that 4th base really did hurt, especially when it came to Larva. Ooh, a couple of transferring drones do get picked off as well. Scarlett once again trying to catch any reinforcements with those things in the middle of the map, but is finding none. Yeah, this pressure from the Marines is just relentless, and I just don't think there's really enough Ling Bane here for Scarlett to pull the trigger, as she does send another counterattack across the map. Yeah, there we go. Looks like she does have Banelings ready as well. The wall currently not a wall. GuMiho even muling just to repair. But because of that, Scarlett may be able to get into the main base. No, she actually turns around with everything. Yeah, she has to fully commit to this fight right here, right now. She's going to try to get on top of the tanks with the Lynx. Does have a pretty significant amount of supply here, and GuMiho is kind of picking up at the wrong time there. He's going to be trying to drop on top of these Banelings, but oh, not the best trade for Scarlett. I don't know how, but she doesn't get all the tanks. Yeah, exactly. Once again, 1 tank barely survives. The Liberators coming in clutch, I imagine, as well, focusing down what Banelings they can, and now there's nothing left. A handful of Lynx are trickling on in. Banelings are about to finish up here for Scarlett, but it's too late. GG is called on GuMiho with a very strange way to get into that 2 base all-in. Gets the win over Scarlett, and PSISTORM once again up in this set. GG GuMiho. I don't envy Scarlett going up against him, because well, you don't really see that too often. Almost Dream-esque, kind of with his lib push on 2 bases. And yes, like Scarlett had the right idea, you know, she was going for these counterattacks, but we saw it happen twice where she committed to 2 big fights where she didn't clean up the tanks, and that was devastating. Yeah, I think the main thing as well is with a sharp timing like GuMiho did there, getting that drone damage with the Banshees very early can be almost impossible to come back from if the Terran plays it very cleanly.
Yeah, exactly. Drone damage early on, once again, does kind of scale quite heavily as the game progresses, just because that early on drones matter so much more. So already kind of knocking Scarlett off balance with that Banshee opener, leading into the 2-base all-in. Very methodical play from GuMiho. Very surgical. Disgusting. Disgusting with that tank positioning, mate. Oh my god.
That tank positioning is glorious. I don't know how I've never seen that before, but it's insane. It's so good. As we do see Cosmic Sapphire going to be the map pick for Scarlett going into map 2, and once again this makes a lot of sense. Nice big map, nice wide map, gives her a lot of space to, settle into her game a little bit more.
Definitely. It's a way for her to get a little bit more breathing room, to get into a more comfortable position in the mid game, into a late game scenario where she can survive and any kind of 2-base all-in aggression from her opponent. But I doubt that's what we're going to be seeing here from our blue Terran representing PSISTORM Gaming, GuMiho.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map for the Shopify Rebellion, this is Scarlett. How much do you know about the lore, Light?
The lore?
Of StarCraft? Because I know very little. How much do you know?
I played the campaigns once each.
Okay.
There you go. That's my lore.
Are Zergs dinosaurs?
What? Are they long?
Are they dinosaurs? Are they prehistoric?
What
I'm getting at is, were there cavemen fighting Zerglings?
They are prehistoric beings, but no.
No?
Well, I mean, you should know this. That there's a primal Zerg skin for a reason, because there's they evolved, from this more ape-like state, if you will,
They haven't evolved, mate. They're all still apes. But I was just wondering, could you imagine having a StarCraft pre-sequel? Like StarCraft Primal, and you have
it's like Age of Empires
with it's like Age of Empires. You're building stone walls, and you got these spearmen and stuff, and then Zerglings come in, and the Zerglings are attacking.
That'd be pretty slick. That's kind of like AVP-esque in a way, where
exactly.
Yeah, where you've got eventually man is forced to devolve into spears and bows and stuff like that to take down the advanced aliens. Make it happen, Microsoft.
We believe in you, Microsoft. We'll hold on. I don't know how much longer we can hold on, but we'll tread water till then. We believe. So we do see GuMiho once again going for this Marine into Tech Lab. So looks like he's going to be going for this very fast Banshee.
This guy is wild, mate. To do it 2 games in a row. Game 1, sure, you can have it, right? It's a weird opener. It's to catch your opponent off guard. But for GuMiho to try and say that this build is consistent and this opener is consistent, he's crazy.
I think it's just what he does on big maps, and maybe a little bit of research going into Scarlett as well, realizing that she's a little bit more of a passive player at times. But I'm wondering as well, maybe my memory's failing me, but I feel like Zergs don't always take the triangle here. Do you think that's a more aggressive choice, or is that something that's a bit more standard?
I do recall that a lot of Zerg players take the triangular third here just because they can establish the base on the right-hand side as their fourth a little bit better as well. And it's a little bit more important to take that as the fourth just because it's a harder fifth to take later on in a macro game. But we'll see if we get that far because, mate, we have the same opener with a fast tech lab, but with a fusion core behind it. Oh my god, this is so gross.
I was gonna keep you talking. It was gonna be like you know when you have a kid go to the dentist or a kid that needs an injection or whatever, so you get them to talk about their day or tell you a story or play with a toy or something, and while they're distracted,
you stab them in the face.
Stab them, yeah. I was just like, Eli, we're gonna distract you. We're gonna talk about some of your favorite things, and then boom, BC.
No.
How many feathers does a duck have? Tell me about ducks.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, what? And then bam. Oh my god. Well, speaking of, we were talking about the potential for mech on Data C in the previous TVT, but oh my, two Two-port BC!
Like,
The
close your
fastest
eyes.
two-port BC!
Close your eyes.
No, it's back! I thought we were done! I thought it was over! Oh no. Not like this.
I've got the evil Kermit next to me, and I'm like, I don't know if I should do this build, and then evil Kermit's just like, do it.
I was about to say that, like, GuMiho, I mean, Asher, you were talking about how, like, oh, you know, GuMiho is doing these, like, quote unquote not safe for ladder builds, but I know you want to do it. I know that you will do it as well, even if it's only like for one day, just to have some fun and just to mess with some poor Zergs on the ladder as the first BC is moving out across the map and has revealed itself.
Yeah, I'm going to do this to Dev. As we do see this BC going to be heading into the back here, going to be putting on a little bit of damage to this Overlord here. A few of the Queens going to be positioning towards the back here, trying to deal with this, but it looks like Scarlett hasn't quite cottoned on to the fact that there are a lot more BCs where that came from. Fortunately for her, she does have a fast layer on the way, so should be looking to get her Spire down in a timely manner.
Yeah, exactly. Spire should be on the horizon as soon as that layer does finish up. But for the time being, the BC is going to be rotating between the bases. 2 drones already going down. Not too much damage, to be fair. So far, the Queens have been able to keep up with these rotations, but I can't say the same for the Overlords as 2 Overlords get picked off.
Yeah, GuMiho just peeking and taking whatever damage he can here and there. The Spire is going to be going down here for Scarlett. She's going to be sending in that Overseer as well. So looking to see what's going on here. But this is just a momentum-based build from GuMiho. Once those extra BCs do finish up, he's going to be looking for either jumping on the Spire and cancelling that Spire before Corruptors can come out, or looking to get so much drone damage that it's irrecoverable for Scarlett, as Scarlett does see the 2-star for it.
There we go. As what I was about to say is that, I mean, again, this is not about the first BC, it's about the triple BC. It's about how much damage they can get done before the Spire finishes. This has been revealed here for GuMiho. There we go. They all teleport in between the bases, and can they find the Spire?
Yeah, there we go. They're just going to be picking off whatever drones they can, trying to skirmish here with the Queens. The Yamato going to be taking out a few of those, but plenty more where that came from for Scarlett, and it looks like he might have found the Spire here, but oh no, it's a Spore.
The Spire is actually at the natural, and the Queens were all covering it, so no, he gets nowhere near the Spire in the end. 1 BC forced to back off, and even though we have some drone damage, again, the Spire survives, and Corruptors are on the way.
Yeah, there we go. The BC is going to be heading on into the main, going to be taking down one of these Spores here, trying to take on the Queens as well, but with the Corruptors on the way, Scarlett looks poised to shut this down.
Yeah, exactly. She should be able to get at least one of these BCs, maybe even both, as the Corruptors are on the horizon. Queens are keeping up as well. She got so much DPS to the BCs. The BCs are trading, don't get us wrong. They haven't been able to deal some damage. Oh my god, at the same time, Hellions, they dive in towards the third.
Yeah, big Hellion run by coming in from GuMiho. He's going to be taking out a lot of these drones here.
Ooh, oh my god, 9 drones are going down as well as all those links, but it looks like the Queens are able to rotate over and again fend off those Hellions.
Yeah, to see the defensive TP is coming on back home. Not sure if GuMiho accidentally used a TP on his full health BC there, but he's going to be going into mech as well behind this.
Yeah, BC into mech is typically what we expect to see. 4 BCs, and we're continuing BC production, as of course we did commit into that Yamato as well. Scarlett has to get eyes on this. I mean, she can assume this just because of the 2 BC openers, so she knows she has to commit a little bit more to those Corruptors to make sure the BCs don't get out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Terran's broken. I don't know what's happened here, but GuMiho's actually taken a lead out of this opening.
Yeah, mate, you don't have to kill. This is a macro opener. What are you talking about? he has been able to kill a lot of workers, to be fair, like especially with these run-bys. Like, they have added up. Like, in total, you know, every single time the BCs or the Hellions come in, it's like 8 or 9 drones, but together it's been over 20 dead.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. We do see a very slick Evo there from Scarlett. He's going to be saving all of those drones from the Hellion run by, but the Hellion's going to get on out of there. We have a lot of Queens here for Scarlett as well. She's going to be heading into Roaches, getting +1 both missiles and melee, so it looks like she is prepared for mech.
Oh, yeah, she is getting ready for this. Meanwhile, I want to send a little bit of a bat signal out there. I can feel it, a disturbance in the force. I can hear Chappie crying in the distance.
That's normal. Just ignore him.
I can hear him cry out in pain. Oh, God. As the Hellions, well, they're getting caught out here in the middle of the map by Scarlett. Nice pickoffs here as the upgrades are on the way. Meanwhile, GuMiho is just edging along the map of Cosmic Sapphire, trying to find his way into the main base undetected.
Yeah, you are reminding me of watching random 4.9k Zergs on Korea ladder doing this to Chappie. It brings a smile to my face.
You're an animal. He doesn't deserve it, Papi. He doesn't deserve to be smudged.
That's what makes it so funny.
Protect his smile. He's so precious.
As we do see, this 5BC is going to be dipping on into the main. Do catch the Queens a little bit out of position here, but they are going to be able to reconvene over towards here. But the Yamatos have not been spent. The TPs have not been spent either. Meanwhile, a nice little roach run by here by Scarlett is going to be taking out some of those tanks. It's going to be very important for Scarlett to keep trying to keep that tank count low.
Definitely. 2 tanks going down for 5 roaches. Well worth it in the end for Scarlett. Meanwhile, a couple of Yamatos are going to be going off on these Corruptors. I think we have 2 Yamatos remaining here. Ooh, Bailey Nest goes down, and we should be able to trade out a little bit more before we get that teleport.
Wow, these Yamatos are getting so much value here, and just forcing Scarlett to rebuild these Corruptors and just keeping her on the back foot as well with those and keeping the BCs safe in that way.
Yeah, mate, you said it once before already. This game, say it again, mate. Terran is broke. As the BCs, they come in, they Yamato, they kill 1 Corruptor each, and then they can teleport the hell out of there. They even got a kill on that bailing.
For free.
For free. For free, Poppy, for free. But despite that, Scarlett, she's taking these blows quite well. She does have her 5th base on the way. Her roaches, a little bit out of position going. We have a massive Hellion run by it.
Yeah, there we go. The Hellion's going to be dipping on in, but very nice around by Scarlett with those Lings. Is it going to be enough? Some nice micro coming out from both players. The roaches are going to be getting in here right on time to defend the drones, and beautiful defense coming out from Scarlett. But she is just being forced to be a punching bag in this matchup.
Yeah, she's been forced to defend this entire time. Again, those Lings, their goal there was to clean up the Hellions, but also buy time for those roaches to meet up with that rotation. Does end up cleaning that up in the end, as, oh my god, the BC count is just getting higher and higher. Like, GuMiho has not stopped BC production this game, mate. He's 2 at a time. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, GuMiho approaching max out as well, and wants to hit at a time that hits before Scarlett's tech. We do see in the queue that 2-2, the Burrow, the Pneumatized Carapace, as well as Neural on the way. It looks like she's cancelling Neural, realizing that she's not really going to get there in time right now, and instead opts to make as many Ravages as possible.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for the Neural as well. A great way to deal with these BCs is, of course, to make them your own. But alas, forced to cancel them just to muster a defense in time at risk of just straight up falling here. Just see a couple of bios connecting, at least zoning away the army, buying a little bit more time for these 2-2 upgrades.
Yeah, behind this we see GuMiho continuing to add to the BC count. He is pure evil.
Yeah. Okay, mate, you said it. As we do see Scarlett trying to engage here. The Corruptors, they dive on top of these BCs. They do get one of them. They can get a second. We have a couple of Yamatos, but nicely done dealing with at least the BCs. But what about the ground army?
Yeah, we see a full commitment on the ground here. Queen's off creep. That is not what you want to see. Every Ravager, every Queen is getting absolutely decimated by these tanks. Scarlett is going to have to rebuild on the ground, which means she can't get that Corruptor count back up. So we can see the prophetic nature of GuMiho going for the BC reinforcement here. And as he goes up to the 4, 5, 6, 7 BCs, Scarlett just isn't going to have the money to rebuild the Corruptors.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because her ground army ended up falling, the Cyclones went ham on those Corruptors as well. So she wasn't able to win a battle on the ground or in the skies. Instead, she's going for a counterattack. Lings are going to be able to delay a base, which is nice, but GuMiho doesn't care about this base, mate. He is maxed out. He is pushing out across the map, and Scarlett is desperately trying to remax.
And GuMi has bases everywhere. Looks like the Ravager is going to be trying to get on top of the tanks. A few biles going down, but we have SEVs there building the turrets that can repair those tanks as well.
Yeah, exactly. They are there for the repairs. We do see a couple of these Cyclones actually overextending, so decent trades coming out from Scarlett, able to almost reset that count. That will help those Corruptors deal with the BCs in the upcoming fight. Speaking of, the BCs are moving on forward, looking for some Yamato targets.
Yeah, we see Scarlett desperately trying to get out the roaches and Corruptors and Lings that she needs to deal with this army. She really needs to crush this right now, right here, but we do see the reinforcements for GuMiho coming in. There are plenty more tanks where that came from, and I just don't know how Scarlett's going to be able to get on top of this position.
Yeah, exactly, especially not without any kind of blinding clouds to try and disrupt these tanks. We do see a Fungal connecting with the Hellbats and with these Cyclones, but oh god, the Ravagers, they come in and take tank shots to the face.
Yeah, Scarlett kind of in two minds about how to approach this one and whether that she can jump on top of these BCs, but there are just too many BCs here right now. They're just going to be committing fully over all of the units, and GuMiho taking the 2-0 for PSISTORM, and that was absolutely filthy.
GG. GuMiho with those BCs at the end. He didn't even have to Yamato there. He just move commands the BCs forward and they just delete everything. Oh my god.
Yes, stunning micro from GuMiho there with the BCs. Takes a special hand to do that. I don't know if you'd understand light, but the fleet commander of the BCs there.
Yeah.
You can just kind of imagine GuMiho up there, you know, in one of the BCs himself, kind of on the deck, has everything out around him. Kind of got his towel set up as well on the panels. And oh yeah,
I was finding GuMiho. He's cracked, Poppy. He's cracked. Oh my god.
Cracked indeed, and puts PSISTORM in a very nice position here against Shopify Rebellion, as we do have our final set coming up. It's going to be MaxPax versus Harstem.
Yeah, just like our previous series of CranKy Ducklings going up against DPG, we are going to be ending things off with a PvP, and quite a PvP at that. It's a bit of a European one, so I'm sure these two players are very familiar with each other, and I wonder how this will unfold. But before that, of course, again, a massive shout out to GuMiho for flexing some very peculiar builds. Some very interesting openers, especially because we saw him have a different variation on that fast starport with the tech lab. You know, in both games, he opened in a very similar fashion, but had a different kind of follow up. And I hope that doesn't hit the mainstream public. You know, that's all I can say. Going into that insanely fast 2-port BC, Jesus.
I'll see what I can do about that. We do have this matchup coming up between MaxPax and Harstem, and MaxPax being a fast rising star for the Protosses here, starting to really distinguish himself as one of the best Protosses in the region, even threatening to surpass Showtime for that role there. And Harstem in his own right a mainstay and quite a specialist at times when it comes to the PvP. I really do think that he can take anyone down.
Definitely. Like, even though, like, overall, throughout all matchups, MaxPax is considered to be, you know, top 2 Protoss in Europe, specifically when it comes to the PvP and these specialized best of 2 series where preparation is involved. This is where the mind can come out on top. You know, this is where some more strategic players can excel and can even punch up in certain ways. So I do think that this will be quite a competitive PvP.
Yeah, and I mean, this comes into a really weird situation where MaxPax, he is the absolute master of the one gate expand, and we are in a meta of one gate expand. So I can remember back when MaxPax was first using one gate expand, Harstem talking about it on his stream, how none of these things he thought were possible, and he was basically learning it all by having these ladder games against MaxPax and customs where he would just try all these different builds against him, see how he holds it. And that was like how Harstem learned how to play one gate expand, is just by like using all these different builds against MaxPax. And MaxPax in his own right has some very creative ways to crack the shells of defensive players as well. He really is on the cutting edge when it comes to PvP, especially.
100%. You know, I think we can all get behind the idea of MaxPax being an innovator and a bit of a pioneer for his own race, mainly in the PvP, but, you know, a little bit in some of the other matchups as well. It's been really impressive to see him just come at the game from a bit of a different perspective, from a bit of a different angle, and make things work than people just didn't think were possible. So yeah, we'll see if Harstem, studying those replays, studying those games, is able to come up with a way to bring him down in this best of 2. As a reminder, though, to everyone, Harstem needs to win this 2-0 to bring this to the ace match. A 1-1 will not cut it.
Yeah, there we go. And these two teams, they are the 4th and 5th team getting towards the end of this regular season. So this is a pretty important match between these two teams as well.
It really is. When it comes to those placements, I do think that both teams, are pretty solidified in their ability to make it into the playoffs. I'm sure that there's some math involved to see if maybe there's a possibility for one of them to get eliminated, depending on kind of the outcome of some of these other matches. But they are pretty safe. But when it comes to the positioning in the standings specifically, that can still kind of alternate between these teams.
Yeah, definitely, and that matters a lot. That's one less game that you have to play. That's one rung further up that you are when it comes to those playoffs.
And that's more money too.
Oh yeah, money's good.
Money can be good.
Yeah, Harstem, I do have to give him props. He is one that I've seen do some massive upsets. I remember him taking down Mario in a best of 5 in one of the qualifiers earlier in the year, maybe towards the end of last year. And he's the kind of player that can really pop off. And I think a lot of that comes down to as well how open-minded he is when it comes to StarCraft as well. He is very open to a lot of different approaches, and that can make him a flexible player as well.
Definitely. Very Estrella-esque in that way, where he is willing to think outside the box at times and try different things. And we'll see how that all kind of comes together as our players are now getting ready in their respective lobbies. And the ace for PSISTORM, he's here, MaxPax.
I have to disagree with this Hexagon. His defense is bonkers. It's really good.
His defense is arguably like his best trait. Like, let's be real here. Like, what is happening?
But there we go. We do see Harstem breaking out of that Protoss 8 boundary of the mindset.
Oh,
him and Hero in a league of their own.
He's one of the chosen few Protosses that can have a bit of a bigger brain.
We do see, he has a powerful mindset. Mr. Tilt-proof, apparently. We do finally have this matchup getting started on up in the top right-hand corner of the map. This is the Faceless Enigma playing for PSISTORM MaxPax.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of Data C, representing Shopify Rebellion, it is Harstem.
When we were watching Australia versus Denmark in the soccer, I was kind of looking through the crowd to see if I could find MaxPax. I was like, which of these Danish kids is MaxPax?
You had to look for the VIP area. That's what you had to look for the closed off red velvet area where the what is it? What is he like? What's the theory? He's like a lord or like a royalty, a prince. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Did you find him?
Nah, I didn't find him. I tried.
Oh my god! As we do see both players going for gate expands here. Harstem. Oh
wow! Yeah, this is something that I actually remember. This is when Parting first introduced his 17 Nexus build specifically against Terran. Harstem was one of the first people that really jumped onto it and was very intrigued about the concept of it as maybe a new meta build. It has kind of fallen off in popularity, but I love to see this, that Harstem is still kind of hung on to that.
Yeah, it goes to show that he doesn't want to play any games, mate. He doesn't want to be delayed. Doesn't want to be forced into his tech or anything like that. Gets that Nexus down as soon as possible, and will be able to be a little bit more pesky and annoying across the map.
Yeah, there we go. So just, cutting a lot of those probes to get the Nexus down earlier. And this is a fascinating build to go for. And I'll be very interested to see what MaxPax's response is. As I'm sure Harstem's quite interested to see that as well.
I'd like to think he's not using this as like a testing ground to see what MaxPax would do. I'd like to think he's actually already done that. But yes, we do see MaxPax is forced to make that Zealot, forced to deal with this pylon. Because the pylon is made, Harstem could, I was going to say maybe even throw down the Cybercore, but no, in the end the probe does go down, and MaxPax is forced to throw down his Stargate first before Nexus.
And I have these funny things when I watch like Harstem play or Uthermal or someone like that, these YouTubers play, where it's kind of hard to not come up with like the YouTube thumbnail descriptions from when they're playing, where it's just like, I played against a Danish prince in the World Team League and you won't believe what happened next. 100% real.
Oh my god, you know what he would do? If Harstem wins one of these games, when the camera pans to him and he does a ceremony, he's going to use that as the thumbnail. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna see that thumbs up to the camera. That's a good one.
Yeah. As something that's not quite a thumbs up is that Adept does get a little bit more damage done. 2 probes go down in the main base of Harstem. Does clean it up in the end, but again, at least MaxPax is able to get a full scat off and get confirmation of that second gate from Harstem.
Yeah, there we go. As we do see that first Oracle going to be headed out for MaxPax. Nice and early Stargate. Going to be looking to punish the fast Nexus and the delay in tech there for Harstem. And meanwhile, for Harstem, we'll be getting that extra gas up and going into a Twilight.
Yeah, exactly. And MaxPax is reading aggression from Harstem, so he's actually going into a Void Ray from here. Again, if we do see additional gateways being thrown down, then this will definitely help in the defense. I'm really curious to see if MaxPax is going to commit or if he ends up canceling that, but it looks like, yeah, he finishes.
Yeah, there we go. And behind that, going to go for a second Oracle. So that does give the one-shot potential through a shield battery. And looks like he's actually going to be looking to get aggressive with this Void Ray here. And if Harstem is greedy and doesn't make enough Stalkers here, this could be a problem for him.
Oh my god, it really could, as it looks like Harstem's going to be scouting with the Zealot, I believe. Yeah, the Void Ray does reveal itself, so Harstem's now fully aware. He needs to throw down those shield batteries, needs to warp in what Stalkers he can to defend that natural.
Yeah, there we go. It does look like Harstem with a very slight supply block. He's going to be delayed in doing that, but the first extra warp in of Stalkers is going to be going down here.
Yeah, there we go. We have 5 Stalkers from Harstem. We have 3 for MaxPax alongside of that Void Ray. Right now, I imagine that MaxPax is just trying to distract the army as both Oracles are getting into the main base.
Yeah, there we go. The Oracle's going to be putting on that damage, being able to one-shot these probes through the shield battery with the 2 Oracles there, and getting on out with the Revelation. 7 probes going down. Beautiful Oracle control from MaxPax.
Yeah, I love this, by the way. So going for the Oracle, Void Ray Oracle, again, just designed to deal economic damage, and that's exactly what he was able to do, getting a little bit of a lead, despite the fact that Harstem did open up with a Nexus first.
Yeah, there you go. And behind this, MaxPax's going to be going into a lot of gateways and the Blink as well. So looks like MaxPax's going to be looking to sit on 2 base for a little bit longer here and punish Harstem for being a little bit greedy going into this fast third. And is Harstem going to be able to get eyes on what's going on here? Is he going to be kept in the dark?
I mean, Harstem, he is warping in a sentry, so he's going to be going for a hallucinated scout across the map soon, and he desperately needs to. He needs to see the gateways. He needs to see the fact that, oh my god, we even have a Dark Shrine on the way.
Yeah, Dark Shrine is on the way. We do see a Robo started up in a timely fashion for Harstem. So I do think he's going to be able to get that Observer out in time, but MaxPax with a very aggressive set of moves here, and we can see why he's such a effective Protoss, such a popular Protoss. He's really happy to use every tool in the shed to get it done.
Oh yeah, exactly. Nothing is off the table here for MaxPax as he's looking to try and expand and take his own third base behind this. His main army is going to be moving out here as well, looking to try and get eyes on where the third of Harstem was taken.
Yeah, actually going to be whooping in an extra pylon here just for reinforcements. So he is getting his Nexus behind this, but he will be able to warp in a lot of Stalkers at a time, and does have that DT Shrine as well. Looking to see if an Observer started up for Harstem. It is.
Yeah, but Harstem's out of position. This third base is looking quite exposed. A couple of Stalkers are moving on in, but with the help of this Void Ray, it looks like Harstem with the defender's advantage should have enough. He doesn't have a shield battery quite yet.
Oh, a fantastic micro coming out from MaxPax. And MaxPax, he is starting to overwhelm that. Void Ray hasn't been taken out yet. Is Harstem going to be able to put the last little bit of damage on that? It does get the full use of its overcharge.
Oh, it does in the end. It looks like the Void Ray is going to go down. It looks like Harstem should be able to fend this off for the time being, but the pylon is done, and those 3 DTs are on the way.
Yeah, there we go. We do see a few extra Stalkers of MaxPax going down, so nice little pickoffs there for for Harstem. But Harstem evening things up in the probe count. Are these DTs going to be able to get the damage that they need? It looks like he's going to be splitting one into each base, and this is a nightmare to deal with all at once.
Yeah, there we go. I was wondering where the Observer was. The Observer is here in the natural, so the first DT is going to get picked off, but the second DT slips into the main base. A lot of probes are going down.
Yeah, these MaxPax DTs, they are built different. He buys so much time with them. This is something that I remember him saying about his DT players, that he really concentrates a lot of attention and APM into just microing single DTs a lot.
Yeah, and it really does add up. As we saw, it was 3 DTs and 14 probes have gone down, despite the fact that Harstem did have detection back at home. It wasn't enough to stop this.
Yeah, and this really just throws a curveball on Harstem. Throws all his mining off, means that he will have a little hiccup to the mineral income, as we do see that reflected down the bottom of the scoreboard.
Yeah, exactly. As he does have to try and catch up in that working out. Looks like DT tries to slip into the natural, but this time Harstem once again is ready with his detection, cleans that up, is looking to try and get a fourth base. MaxPax likewise keeps up hand in hand, getting his own fourth behind this, as we see another gateway explosion, 4 more gates and charge.
Yeah, I do worry with this faster charge +1 and the extra gates that MaxPax is just going to be able to keep this momentum rolling, and he's going to be able to overwhelm Harstem once he gets those charge lots going.
Yeah, I do worry for that as well, especially as Harstem just had such a hard time economically. A stasis trap goes off in the main base, and the majority of that mineral line gets caught.
Yeah, MaxPax just getting so much use out of his every unit. These Stalkers are doing a lot of damage, skirmishing back and forth. The DT's getting so much damage as well, and MaxPax just using every single piece of equipment that he has here to its full effect.
Yeah, he really is, and now he's ready to really round things out with this prism, with all those gateways finishing up. I love that MaxPax is even throwing down a couple of cannons back at home just in case Harstem goes for his own Dark Shrine. It makes sense, Harstem is a little bit behind, so MaxPax just kind of shoring up his defenses, make sure he doesn't leave any stone unturned, as he's going to hit here with charge.
Yeah, there we go. These Banshees going to be dipping on, the Stalker's going to be dipping on, then I was just reading chat, sorry, as we do have the shield battery overcharge being committed at the third, and we're going to be seeing the stasis trap once again, but Harstem, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Oh, he doesn't get fooled twice.
Never get fooled again. Okay.
And we do see the Zealots fighting with these probes, 15 of those probes going down. MaxPax just starting to overwhelm on every single front at once here.
Yeah, exactly. The mineral line is being eviscerated at that triangular third base. We even have some DTs in the main of the natural. GG gets called, and MaxPax, with clinical play here, takes game number 1.
BG MaxPax, incredible stuff coming out from him there. Just constant aggression, constant pressure, and Harstem, it really did look like he was keeping up, but MaxPax just finding very small edges with every single move that he made, and never really making any clear mistakes at all. That's a really impressive feat.
It really is. It felt like, again, MaxPax was in the driver's seat. I mean, based off of the openers, we did kind of expect for Harstem to be more of the defender, but it was really interesting to see MaxPax, again, kind of utilize the units the way that he did, where he very methodically went for that Void Ray at a certain time to try and distract the army, open things up for the Oracles, then with the follow-up with the additional gateways, with the Blink Stalker aggression, then into the DTs, then into the charge timing. Yeah, it was insane at how he was able to keep that pressure up constantly throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, he kept at least one of those Oracles for the entire game there. I just barely saw a slip up from that, from any point of that game, and he just got so much value out of every unit.
Yeah, he really did, and it felt like Harstem was on the back foot the entire time. They're trying to keep up, and with that game, I believe PSISTORM will be taking this series. But despite that, we will still play out game number 2. Even though there isn't a way for Shopify to win, this will still be played out, and Harstem can still at least avenge himself in a way and fight back against MaxPax.
Yeah, exactly. Map score can be very important in this competition. As we looked at the table coming into this, DPG obviously getting the win are going to be able to put themselves up, but DPG, Shopify, and PSISTORM were all tied on 18 points. So with PSISTORM going up with this win up to the same amount of points as DPG, it could come down to map score. So they're going to be wanting to get this map.
Oh yeah, exactly. All 4 those standings, so there is still weight behind this match. Oh, and Harstem, his map of choice, mate, we're going to be dancing in the moonlight.
Beautiful. Harstem, bit of a dancing man himself. Sometimes it kind of seems like the kind of guy that'd be the life of the party as well. So like Paddy Mac being his favorite map, Moon Dance, is going to be opting for the dancing map, for the club.
Yeah, to give a little bit of respect to Harstem, I don't know if he's anywhere near as crazy and wild as Paddy Mac, but he is one known to let loose. As in the bottom right-hand corner, we have representing PSISTORM Gaming, MaxPax.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map, the captain himself. This is for Shopify Rebellion, Harstem.
Oh boy, here we go. And we are not too surprised here, but here on Moondance, Cosmic Sapphire, some of these other maps that don't have a ramp at the natural, MaxPax is not afraid to go for that gate expand.
Yeah, really interesting going for a low ground gate on this map. I have to wonder if he's going to look to utilize that as well with maybe a faster Adept across the map or a Zealot across the map. But yeah, a little bit of an interesting approach here. I have to wonder as well, this is something that really came into play a lot when MaxPax was having this sort of revolution with the one gate expand where it kind of felt like he was baiting people into all-inning him on purpose. And I wonder if that's what's happening here.
I remember that happening a lot with early on with the Korean Protosses, especially Zest. He would kind of bait Zest into like the proxy Stargate response with the shield batteries, and MaxPax, his defense was always so clinical there against that. So we'll see if Harstem does end up taking that, as he does go for a much more standard 2-gate open.
Yeah, there we go. So Harstem kind of looking to assume the role of the aggressor here, but I have seen Harstem play 2-gate versus 1-gate a few times. We saw it in DreamHack recently as well, and one of the approaches that he likes to go for is he just cuts a lot of those gateway units to get an equally fast Nexus, or at least a similarly timed Nexus.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see him at DreamHack Atlanta do that consistently in multiple PvPs. I was a little bit shocked. I was like, oh my god, I guess this is just what what Harstem is comfortable with. Meanwhile, across the map, we see MaxPax, his Nexus has been delayed, forces out the Zealot, and he does go for that Stargate.
Yeah, importantly, Harstem does scout that as well. So he's pretty much seeing all he needs to see is going to be dipping on out of there, and does look poised to take his own Nexus as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be a little bit behind in the tech, but is looking to try and keep up here with his Nexus timing. As I say that, MaxPax does throw his own down back at home. Ooh. And yeah, we'll see if he ends up going for that Oracle. Meanwhile, Harstem going to be moving out here with his Stalkers, going to try and catch that Adept.
Yeah, really good scouting here coming out from MaxPax. Going to be sending in that Adept, going to be sending that Probe as well. Just taking out so much time from these Stalkers. You can really see that his unit movement is on another level. He is wasting so much of Harstem's time, and that's even if he does find these units to scout.
Yeah, and you know what, Harstem, he is not looking to expand. He has the pylon there, so it kind of looks that way, but he goes for a proxy gate across the map.
I mean, this has to be such an uncomfortable position here as Harstem, where as much as you do want to go for this all-in, you almost feel like you're a puppet being played by MaxPax, because it just seems from everything that MaxPax is doing that that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah, we have a Void Ray on the way. MaxPax, he's fully aware of the one base all-in coming out from Harstem. He just has to buy a little bit more time. We have a second shield battery on the way. We have the Nexus, so we're going to have an overcharge available as well. It's going to, at least for the time being, it is going to come down to this unit control. We'll see if Harstem can overwhelm and snowball.
Yeah, there we go. We see 2 more gateways being finished up from Harstem, so does look like it's just going to be the 4-gate Stalkers coming out from him, so a lot of pressure going to be coming on the front door of MaxPax. And I have to say as well, this not being a ramp map does help Harstem here. These batteries are looking a little vulnerable.
Yeah, again, because of the lack of ramp, this does favor Harstem. It does favor the aggressor a little bit, but he has to be a little bit careful. Some of his Stalkers do sustain a little bit of hull damage there, but that Stalker count is getting higher and higher, and Harstem, I don't believe he's lost any yet.
Yeah, wow, that Adept back at home for Harstem as well is taking, putting a lot of damage on that pylon.
Yeah, oh my god, the control there! GG gets called, Harstem loses 2 Stalkers, and that's it!
Yeah, Harstem can barely believe it. MaxPax's kit is a wonder. It looks like he thinks to himself as MaxPax manages to pinch out the win for PSISTORM, and PSISTORM with a dominating 5-1 over one of the top teams in the league.
Definitely. I mean, for that last game, we were talking about it, right? We were talking about it in the previous metas, or whenever MaxPax does open up with that low ground gate expand, he baits his opponent into aggression, and MaxPax is just so good at reading when his opponent does commit to a 2-base like that, to 1-base play like that, and he was so quick to start those shield batteries. He was so quick to start those Void Rays. Oh my god, just played Harstem so well.
Yeah, absolutely. He was all over that. It felt like he was getting everything he wanted in that game. And yeah, Harstem just has to tap out there, and PSISTORM going to be taking the victory.
GG, well played to PSISTORM Gaming. As you were pointing out, it is a very important match to be taking here for PSISTORM Gaming. They're just solidifying themselves even more as one of the top teams in World Team League. And with that, that is our final series for the day. Only 2 matches, but some spicy matches at that. We started things off with the CranKy Ducklings, and mate, I just want to reiterate, because I know we got the Lambo raid later, but check out the VODs, because, mate, the Ducklings, they didn't look too bad against DPG.
Yeah, we're proud of them. We're proud of them.
Yeah, we're proud of our boys. Proud of them. Oh my god. And once again, thank you so much, Asher, for joining me tonight as well. I know we have been kind of ramping up the content, and we've been casting a lot together recently, and the jokes have devolved into just straight up explicit talk sometimes.
My ability to form a sentence has been very challenged. I sometimes get all the words right, but in the wrong order, and that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Our brains have slowly been melting over the course of the past week, but regardless, thank you, Asher. Thank you for being a part of it, for joining me in our endeavor here to cast as much StarCraft as we can until we go crazy.
Yeah, I'm there. Well,
you're like, I'm already crazy, mate. What are you talking about?
If the people want to see some more crazy stuff, maybe some crazy Zerg gameplay, where can they find that, Light?
Oh, they're crazy, Poppy. They're crazy. Check me out at Lad_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week, not so much on the weekends, but on the weekdays. Again, some low level Zerg gameplay, just nothing amazing, but we like to enjoy ourselves. We like to have fun. We like to smudge and struggle, and we're there for each other. At least. So you can check me out there. Otherwise, if they want to see some higher quality GM Terran gameplay, or sometimes some Protoss aping on the side, where can they find that, Asher? Where can they find that?
If you want to see some NAGM copium, you can see that at twitch.tv/AsherBro.
There you go. AsherBro also basically
now with Rufus emotes.
True. Asher did just get some new emotes featuring his lovely, beautiful cat. So you can support him there and get some of those beautiful emotes. They're amazing. They're definitely what you want. And if you're just interested in our commentary, in our casting, then check us out here on the CranKy Ducklings. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We're on all the social medias. We have a YouTube channel where we upload all of our VODs. We have, again, a Discord server as well, where you can interact with us in between broadcasts and outside of just StarCraft. So yeah, be sure you're a part of our community if you enjoy our casting. We're kind of a big team. We've got pro players, we're in World Team League, for example. We are technically one of the best teams in the world. As we are a part of the World Team League. And yeah, we kind of come together to cast as much StarCraft as we can. We were a part of the DreamHack Atlanta broadcast as well. We were a part of ANZ Champs. And we will maybe even be a part of IM Katowice next year. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, day 2 of World Team League Round 9.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Rufus, hello, Rufus, hello. Oh, look at him.
I'm being cleaned.
He's licking the kebab off your fingers.
Yes.
Beautiful. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
There we go. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.
Ciao.